Okay, so the first books I'm going to be showing you are for one of my co-op classes. I'm teaching 2 co-op classes this year. The first one is Introduction to Constitutional Law. So the way that I found this book, these are from Amazon, obviously. They're only like $26, so very affordable in terms of textbooks. I found this because I was looking for a textbook that had briefed cases for like high school students, where it wasn't too in-depth, like the cases are parsed. So here's an example. This is the first case that I'll be teaching. So there's a video lecture for each of these included in the book, and then there is like commentary. And so this is kind of like if you were going to law school, this would be like the background information. So you would read the case that would be assigned to you in your textbook, and then this would be kind of like, what is this about? But this is definitely not like a full in-depth treatment of each of the cases. And I was looking for specific ones. So there's 100 cases in here. Here's what they are. I'll show you the table of contents. And my plan is actually to find more in-depth materials on the different cases, because I've looked through this more closely and they're a little bit light in terms of how deep I want to go. But you could see that the study guide questions are really good, like Socratic discussion type questions. So these are for my junior and freshmen. They'll be taking my class. And then unrelatedly, I made an order with Moving Beyond the Page. I've shared, I think on here, that I am an affiliate with them now. But that's really just because I love their products. And so it's kind of like if I'm already sharing about them, like why not get, compensated, I guess. So actually for this order, I was able to apply, one of you guys made a big giant order and I got credit for it. So about a third of this order, I was able to get my affiliate like payment, or I don't know what you would call it, placed towards this order. So thank you guys for using my affiliate links. It really helps my family. And specifically, I use that to buy literally more curriculum so I can share with you guys. So as you can see, some of these are updated. Moving Beyond the Page is transitioning their name to Beyond the Page. So this is the new redesign branding versus it still says Beyond the Page, but this is the like older version. So I got a couple of these. I didn't look at the back, but remember we discovered a couple of videos ago that you can see which unit goes to which concept. So I got, I really wanted to get all of these, but I waited to get economic cycles, and we're actually reading The Family Under the Bridge right now. But I knew life cycles and Poppy went together, so I got those 2. And I already have the rainforest ones, Government and the People, The Whipping Boy, and I have Iggy's House, my daughter. Oh, sorry, that's off camera. Iggy's House, my daughter just did that. But I've been really wanting to do Poppy. It's about this little mouse. I don't know if it's in here. And so these 2 will go together. Let's take a look at the table of contents in this one. So this is the unit of Poppy. You can use it with life cycles, unit review sheet. And let's take a look at the concepts covered. This is for my 3rd grader. I don't think I mentioned that. So here's the summary of skills, and this is the ELA, obviously, unit. That's what I was interested using it for. Ever since we did Holes, which was an amazing unit, I really have liked using Beyond the Page for ELA. So here we have one of the first assignments. You're doing deer mouse research. Then you have great horned owl research. I love this. And this is clearly integrating the science, but it's using writing. Draw pictures that live in the forest. And then let's see, lesson 2. I'm just kind of trying to see for myself. Oh, and actually I think we skipped over. So all of the ELA units, I'm pretty sure all of them, it's not here, have a reading comprehension set of questions. So you do some reading and then you answer the questions, and that's really what we had used for our charter in the past. And then after you have the reading comprehension, that's when you have like a different activity. So usually, especially for the older kids, the ELA activities will be like, let's learn about adjectives, or let's learn about prefixes and suffixes. That's one for what is that? The mountain one where the boy goes and lives in the mountains. I don't even remember what it's called. My Side of the Mountain. There's a thing about prefixes and suffixes after the comprehension or comprehension comprehension questions. So we'll be doing Poppy ASAP because I really want to read that book. It's actually part of a series as well. Then we have life cycles. This is science. Oh, and so look, this is a really good idea. They have the Concept 2, Unit 2 on the front cover now, whereas the older design does not have that. So that's really handy because you can then pick them up and say, okay, what am I doing this for? So I got, let's do one thing at a time. All right, life cycles. I had my iced coffee in case you couldn't tell. So I intended to use this alongside this. So let's look at, here's the books you need. What is a life cycle? Who eats what? And so we're talking about living things. This is exactly what I wanted to do. And this, if you're in a charter school in California, I don't know how other states work, but in California, this is like I feel like every single year has a living things standard. So there you go, check. Needs of living things, draw those in here. Parts of living things, that's lesson 1. And then we have lesson 2. We've got reading and discussion questions. So for this one, we're reading what is a life cycle. Then we have discussion questions. This also could be for, if you're in a charter, you could type these up and have your student answer them. And then you also have literally discussion questions here. So we are hitting some of the writing standards, and then we have a cycle wheel. So I'll stop at that because I don't want to give away too much. But these I will be using like alternating. So let's say Monday we do this, Tuesday we do that, and so forth. Then let's look at these. Communities and culture and communities change over time. I'm assuming these go together. Yeah, okay. So that's why I got both of them. And my favorite thing about moving beyond the page, aside from how there are these physical like work samples, which work really well for charters or for people who want to have a physical representation of learning. Of course, learning occurs without physical representation, but occasionally you're looking for something to document that. I happen to keep work samples even though we are not with the charter. What I really like about Beyond the Page is the literature component. So you have these different, let's go to lesson 2. This one says, get a picture book about a different time period in American culture, such as colonial pioneer days, Native American culture. So they're letting you pick the book in that one. Let's see what we have. Oh, Westlandia is the book for this one. Let's see. So you read Westlandia, then you've got the comprehension questions, but it's not only comprehension questions. I've gone into this before in other videos. So there are obviously directly related activities, but there's also really fun things like cooking projects or building different, like for science, building different things, really fun like hands-on activities that are not on a worksheet. So in the past, when I was less familiar with this curriculum, I may have said, oh, it's only, you're doing all these things inside of this workbook and it's very worksheet heavy. It's actually just a lot of options. For example, an activity may have 5 different ways of doing the same skill, but you have different options based on your child's age or their abilities or what have you. And if your child is not into writing or you don't want to do drill and kill, is an expression that might be used on some of these reading comprehension things. You don't have to. You can do different things. There's really just a lot of flexibility, and especially, like I said, if you are with a charter school, you may be needing those more than others. So I really appreciate that, and I also really like how it's integrated. So as you can see, these 2 are communities and culture, which is a big standard in California for many age levels. So if you're using this with, like, let's say a kindergartner as well as a 3rd grader or whatever age, that's really convenient. So let's see. Oh, and this lesson, so this is one of the older ones. Okay, lesson 1, getting started, adventures in the Middle Ages, and hot on the trail in ancient Egypt. So this one could go really well if you're doing As We Are, Story of the World, for example. This could be a great supporting like activity or what have you. You've got And this is a common format in a couple of the different levels that I've seen. What I already know, what I want to learn, and what have I learned. And then we've got a proper noun scavenger hunt. This is giving Brave Rider vibes, paper dolls. And then lesson 2, we're doing hot on the trail, world map. Here's the skills you're covering, facts and definitions. So we will do these 2 together after we finish Poppy and life cycles. And then the last one, water cycle. Let's see what it's supposed to go with. Oh, Charlotte's Web. So I skipped Charlotte's Web because we've already read that one. But I feel like the water cycle is a very prominent state standard that I always want to cover. So let's look at, so here's an example of lots of options. So we've got lesson 1 and it says it's 2 days, but you've got many activities. So we've got the water drop activity, water molecule, finding water, properties of water, bodies of water. So they're saying you can do all of these over a 2-day period, but this is really going to depend on the age group of your kids and how you run your homeschool. So I like having options. And then this is cute. Again, write everything you already know. So similar to the what I know, what I want to learn. And then here's a water molecule. So really cute. Okay, so those are the recent things that I got for our homeschool. These are for my 3rd grader. And I chose these based on what I wanted to teach versus what is a certain age bracket. She is within this age bracket. So works for me. I often do a lot of this stuff with my 3rd grader and my 6th grader together because the content is not at a level where you can't teach it at that level, if that makes sense. The books that they use, while they may be picture books, are not overly simplistic. They're definitely sophisticated. A lot of them contain complex scientific concepts, even though there's, colorful illustration or whatever. So it is definitely one of my favorite curriculums to use for mixed age instruction. Anyway, thank you guys for watching this video, and thank you again. If any of you ever use my affiliate code, I definitely notice, and it makes an immediate difference to our family. So thank you for that, and thank you for watching. And if you want to see what other stuff we have planned, make sure and subscribe, hit the notification button. I do plan to hope to film a 6th grade side-by-side comparison video soon, as soon as I get one more thing I'm waiting for to come in the mail. So thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.